Good afternoon, YouTube. I think it was about 6 years ago I was given two of these touch lights. I guess they call these closet touch lights. They're made by Garrity. N100G. These are the older units. They have a new unit, or an updated version of this, that it includes an LED bulb, but this was an old halogen bulb, PR13 type bulb. That's what it looks like. It's kind of a yellow glow. It probably would be a little brighter, except I put nickel metal hydride cells in there. And this halogen bulb pulls about 540 milliamps. You can get to it right there, which is about 2.6 watts. And with these batteries, it would run about 3.5 hours. So I was trying to figure out what kind of bulb would be best for this. I have a couple of super bright LED flashlight bulbs here. So this was the bulb that was in my camping lantern here. So this has a 6-volt lead acid battery. I figured it's easier to try the various bulbs and just see what they look like. So this is a 1-watt bulb. They also have a 2-watt, but I think those would be just too bright. I mean, this thing is way too bright, considering that you're going to put this on the wall in a closet, and then you're going to go into the closet, and this thing will just blind you. So this bulb pulls 240 milliamps, which is a little over 1 watt, like 1.1 watts, and it would run just under 8 hours. So that bulb was a little too bright. Yeah, and I still have my little digital meter there, 6.32 volts. Yeah, I just charged this a couple of weeks ago. I have a Garrity flashlight, and I'd put an LED bulb. I think this is a 1/2 watt narrow angle LED bulb that I'd put in this flashlight. So I thought I would try that too. So there's the 1/2 watt bulb. Problem is it's too focused in the middle. I mean, this is a narrow 20-degree beam angle bulb, and it's just too bright, and it doesn't work well with this diffuser here. It just shoots all the light out like a flashlight. So what I did was I went to the Super Bright LEDs page, and they have this one that's a 1/2 watt, just like this bulb, but this is a 130-degree beam angle versus like 20-degree for this one. And I think this is the winner here. Probably doesn't look too much different on camera, but this one is the hot spot in the middle is much smaller, and it throws light out quite a bit wider angle. So I'll show you what this looks like at night. So let's see, the flashlight bulb, the narrow angle one, draws 100 milliamps, which is about 0.48 watts, all measured at 4.8 volts since I'm using nickel metal hydride here. And this would run 19 hours. So this bulb is 90 milliamps at 4.8 volts, which is about 0.43 watts, and it's going to run about 21 hours. So I think this will be much better. It'll run about 7 times longer than that bulb. It puts out more light. Here's the part number, the PR2.5, and then I guess it's 0.5 watts, and then their 120-degree viewing angle, cool white, voltage 2.8 to 12 volts. But that'll work good with 4 nickel metal hydride, because that's down to about 0.7 volts per cell. So I think that'll give me a decent run time. And so yeah, I'll show you what these look like once it gets a little dark tonight. We can take a look at the amount of light they put out and also the beam pattern. I got to clean both of these up. That was the way I got them. I don't know what they were used for before. But I was using these up in my attic several years ago when I first got up in the attic and was cleaning it up and insulating the floor. I used these until I put in the LED lighting that runs off of 12 volts. I found them up in the attic, and when I brought them down, the batteries, the old alkaline batteries, were dead. Yeah, so turns out these are no longer available. So they must have originally come out with the halogen bulb like this, and then at some point they went to LED, and then now this model is no longer available, but for, I think it was about $6 for each bulb, I can convert these from halogen to LED, and I'll put rechargeable batteries in there, and I'll have some basically brand new lights. So it's getting a little dark, so I thought I'd try out these bulbs. So this is the incandescent, which is a 2.5 watt halogen bulb. So I'll turn off the camera light here and we'll take a look at that. That's a nice wide pattern. So that's that one. That was the 2.5 watt halogen. So this is the 1 watt wide angle LED here. That is really bright. Yeah, that's a nice amount of light, but I think it's just too bright for putting in a closet. There's just too much light there. If I can get this one in there. So this is the narrow angle flashlight bulb. But you can see it's a pretty narrow beam angle. So let's try the wide angle 1/2 watt bulb, which is I think the one I'm going to use. So there's that. And you can see it's a much wider beam angle. Yeah, because there I'm at that angle. You know, it almost shines out 180 degrees. So it's about half the brightness of the 1 watt bulb, but nice wide beam angle. I think that's a shadow cast by this center part of the reflector or diffuser here. But yeah, I think that bulb is the winner there. Okay, YouTube, got the second light all cleaned up, or both of them actually. Used some 90% isopropyl alcohol and a scrubbing pad and got all the mystery gunk off of there. And these seem to be aluminum housings here. The lens, of course, is plastic, and the base is plastic, but that's like a thin sheet metal shell on there, so you can kind of scrub it clean. One thing I found is these have a little rotary switch here. So if you can see that, it says timer over there, and then over there it's on. If you flip it over there, it'll stay on forever, but if you keep it on this timer, you've got a minimum time is about 35 seconds, and I ran up to the maximum time. I gave up at 20 minutes, so it maybe runs like a half hour or so. But if you set it down there, the light will just stay on for, like I say, about 35 seconds, and then it shuts off automatically. So that's kind of neat. I didn't see that before. So yeah, I think I just leave them on the auto setting, find a time, because that way if you walk away and forget to turn it off, it'll shut off automatically and save your batteries. But yeah, I got the 2 bulbs in there. So again, these are the PR2 0.5 watt and then HP, and you can see it went off 2.8 up to 12 volts and 120 degree viewing angle from superbrightleds.com. I like these guys. They're a little more expensive, but they give you the actual voltage range of the bulbs that they sell. A lot of the other sellers I've found will just say 3 cell, 3 C cell, or 3 D cell, or 4 cell light, and they don't tell you what the actual voltage range is. And especially if you're running rechargeable cells, this has 4 cells, but it's only 4.8 volts. So even though there's 4 cells, it's more like 3 cells. And with this, I know it'll go down to 2.8 volts, which on a 4 cell pack is 0.7 volts per cell. And that's a good low cutoff voltage for nickel metal hydride. So if these cut off at 4.5 volts, if it was a 4.5 to 6 volts, the nickel metal hydride would start out at 4.8. It would quickly go down to 4.5, and then the lights wouldn't work anymore. But these will go down to 2.8 volts. They actually have a voltage regulator or current regulator built into the base of the bulb. So unlike a incandescent bulb that's just going to get dimmer and dimmer as the voltage drops, these bulbs stay the same brightness all the way until they shut off. So probably at 3 volts it'll start dimming, and it'll cut out probably at 2.8 volts. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with those. Now I got to go figure out where I want to put them. I'll put a link to these in the video description, show you the exact bulb I got. And yeah, these are actually pretty nice little units. I got them all loaded up with a new set of Eneloops. I found my extra pack of batteries there, and you can see it turns off automatically. So yeah, anyway, if you have any questions about these, post up in the comment section below, and I'll put some of the other videos where I use these PR2 LED flashlight bulbs. I'll put those over on the left side here. You might be interested in those. And as always, thanks for watching.